because we're a very dark panel here,
Yeah.
but we'll make up for it.
Can you hear me?
Okay, so all three of you, what I love about all three of you is you're doing something that no one else is doing, right? And I want to start with how you came up with the ideas for what you're doing, because I think coming up with a new, fresh idea is probably partially the hardest part, right? So I'm going to start with Dan and ask you where the idea came from.
Yeah, so we actually started with a bunch of different things. We were 17 at the time, and when you're 17, and you're a guy, you have two things that you want to do in life. You want to get to meet girls, and you want to drink beer. Yes.
Fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Probably not only guys have those ambitions, but so we actually started out building a bar community, which failed miserably. We went on to try to make a fashion community, but that also went really bad because after a while we figured that we didn't know anything about fashion and we didn't know anything about the internet, so we were not in a great place. But one of the times we were actually showing, we had a focus group of a bunch of fashion bloggers that we showed our fashion community to, and they all just they hated it, they tore it apart, tore it to pieces. But in one of the breaks, one of the fashion bloggers actually, she was gonna read all of her blogs, so she opened up 10 tabs and she tried to keep up with them, and we thought we could make that better. So we made Bloglovin in 2 weeks, the first version. This is 7-8 years ago now, so it's at the time of Twitter, but it's really early. And we made Bloglovin, and then we put it out, and we got a tech review the day after, and it was and we were so excited that someone actually mentioned us or even cared about us, and the first sentence was, "I don't really like to talk down on entrepreneurs, but these guys are doing something very boring," which is the story of our lives. But then one of the fashion bloggers wrote about it, and then another one, and then it's been going ever since.
Oh, interesting. So through some maybe not so great ideas, you
Yeah,
found your brilliant idea.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it.
What about you, Ashley? You've worked in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
How did the lingerie come about?
The lingerie came about actually through I wouldn't call it a lie, I would call it more of an illusion of something that I wanted to do. I had been working with Additionelle, which is the company that my lingerie line is with. And I had gone to the vice president and told her, because she came to every photo shoot, and I'd been working with them since I was 16 years old. And she was at the photo shoot, and I said, "Look, Rosalind, I am going to start a lingerie line, and I would love for you guys to be able to be a part of it." And she goes, "We want to be a part of it." And next thing you know, the next photo shoot I had with them, they had brought in the head lead designer for the lingerie, and she said, "What kind of lingerie do you want to do?" And I already had it envisioned in my head, so I wasn't going in completely blind. I lift up my shirt, I said, like this, but not like that. And she was like, "Fantastic." And next thing you know, there was a contract written up. And it was because of the idea that I had, and I wasn't afraid to go in and just start talking. And I think a lot of people think, "Oh, you're going to get told no, so why even ask?" And I think the best thing that I learned from that situation was you always have to ask, because you probably will hear yes. You don't know if you're going to hear no. And I think something else that's been really important in my career is I've tried to be a disruptor in everything. I've disrupted the industry within the fashion industry as far as size. I've disrupted fashion designers' idea of perfection. And I've disrupted the idea of many women and men thinking what perfection actually is, and showing them that cellulite, rolls, and curves are actually just as beautiful as the next woman, no matter what size or shape she is. So I think finding your thing that is different and finding your thing that is your disruptor is really important in your industry.
I agree. Julianne, where did the idea for V-Files come?
So the idea for V-Files actually, we launched V-Files in 2012, so V-Files is very young. But the idea came because I was down at V Magazine. I wasn't working there anymore, but I was hanging out down there, and there was this huge uproar because Mario Testino had just shot Rihanna, and Rihanna had put all the pictures on Twitter, right? And so Mario's assistant had released it as well, and so everyone was freaking because you can't see these pictures until they're printed.
That's a magazine's worst nightmare, by the way, in case you guys don't know.
So that to me was like, you know what, this is over, guys. This little section of time where you get to lock everything up and don't let anyone see it, like that's over. And so that was where, you know, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, which was to create a community that is like a fashion democracy where everyone is equal, where everyone has the same rights, where everyone is not, you know, judged at all by anybody and no one tells you can't do anything. The aim of V-Files is just to do it. So, you know, why can't Rihanna tweet that? Why can't she do that? Why can't we see that? Who says that you get to decide what I see and no one else? So that was really the start of V-Files. And, you know, V-Files is still basically in creation, and it is it's a democratic fashion platform with lots of really cool people on it. So you should sign up.
These are all three of your first sort of businesses, right? What has been the most surprising thing about starting something on your own? Because you've all worked for other people. Well, I don't know at 18 if you had worked for other people, but you two have worked for other people. Mm-hmm. So what's been surprising about kind of taking that lead role and you know, birthing this child that is your business?
Oh, God. So I did this is a whole collaborative thing. And within a collaborative idea of any sort, you don't get full control. And I thought walking into my lingerie line that I had 100% full control. Of course, there's contracts and you know what your boundaries are and your guidelines. But I thought I was going to be able to just come in and do da-da-da-da-da. But it's not even the client, like a Chanel, that doesn't give you the control. It's actually the consumer also, because you have to think about what they're going to buy. And so for me, I really had to think about the woman that I was making this for. Of course, I was making it for me and myself because I saw a lack of lingerie in the industry that was uber sexy and supportive all at the same time. But you know, in building this empire, hopefully empire one day, I have learned that it's not just about me, it's a total collaborative deal. And the more people on your team that are rooting for you, that are on your team, that see the vision, it's very important. And I think it's very easy to find people who aren't on your team right away and to nix them and to not feel bad about it. Because this is a business. This is not an emotional roller coaster relationship that we're in. This is business and this is your money maker. So make sure that you don't have anybody that's taking you down.
That's great.
My thing is because I've worked for a lot of people, because I'm like 3 times the age of everyone in this room. But the thing is that you're smarter than you think, right? So you guys are all sitting here, how do I do this? You just do it. You already know. You literally know how to do it already. I mean, you know, the biggest mistake you can make is to think that you don't know anything. Right? You know it. You already know. All of you sitting right here, you know exactly what to do. The only thing that's blocking you is some kind of like fear roadblock, right? Don't let that block you. You already know what to do. And the thing is to have a good combination of humility and confidence, right? So be humble, but believe in yourself. So those are the things that I learned. If there was one mistake I made was when I thought, oh my God, tech people know more than me. I'm not an engineer. Okay, and I'm not going to insult any engineers or anything, because engineers are obviously legendary and we all need them. And Danny, you're an engineer, I don't know, but engineers.
It's fine.
Engineers are the equivalent of people that make buttons, okay? If you make shirts, right? So you make a shirt, you need buttons. Can you attach the buttons to my shirt? I need a site. I need some front-end CSS. I need people to get into my site. It's exactly the same thing, right? So don't let technology be a roadblock for you. Just have a good sense of humility and confidence, and you'll be fine because you already know what to do.
Both of your answers make me think about, you know, how making sure your voice gets heard and how you do that. And I'm sure starting at 18 years old, not everyone wanted to listen to you. So how did you make sure your voice is heard? I'd like you guys to answer that too.
Like my voice is heard in...
Just that no one's going to run you over, or that, you know, your ideas are getting heard and used and...
Yeah, I mean, I guess my biggest hurdle is like my mom asking me when I'm going to go to college. That's been like, she doesn't listen when I say, I'm going to try, like, at some point.
Is she still asking?
Yeah, she's still
Wow.
asking. You know, it's been 7 years now, Mom. Come on. It's like, why don't you get a haircut? I guess it all, like for us, it came down to like people actually starting to use the platform and loving it. Like people can say a lot of things, but
Right.
like as soon as you get that confirmation that people are loving what you're doing and they're actually that usage is there and like people are coming to you, like that's gonna like all the naysayers, that's gonna be like drowned in
Goes
the
away. The
actual
results prove it, right?
in the actual results, in the actual product, and yeah, it just fades away. Like
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Ashley, if you don't, you were saying one of the surprising things is that you don't have full control, but
Yeah.
how do you make sure when it's an important matter that your voice is the one that wins out and is the most?
It's interesting because my voice hasn't always been heard, and I've had agents that I've talked to, like, look, this is the idea, and I really want to do this, and they're like, and it goes in one ear and out the other, and at the end of the day, I realized nobody's going to help you. You have to do it on your own until you actually hire someone to help you. And even then, at the end of the day, it's still you. So I have made it a point to just really put myself out there, and if there's something that I really want and desire, I go after it on my own. I'm not waiting on other people around me to help me or to do it. So that's how I make sure that I'm heard. I do it.
Do you have anything to add?
So we have this saying at V-Files, right? Because ideas are cheap things. Like, how many ideas have you got in your head right now, right? Ideas are cheap. It's not the idea that counts, it's the ability to execute your idea, right? So I don't care, it doesn't matter. Someone's like, oh my God, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. And I always say, okay, do it. And then it's like met with a, really? I'm like, just do it. So ideas there are millions of ideas, right? You have to choose your idea. If you want your ideas to be heard, make them happen. It's the simplest answer of all.
All three of you kind of touched on results and just doing something and moving beyond just the idea, right? When have you maybe taken a misstep? Have there been things that didn't work out, that you had an idea, you went for it, didn't work out? And what did you learn from that experience, if anything? I feel like Julianne has something.
We have so many missteps. So, V-Files is what we call an agile shop, right? So in technology, you do things like agile development, which is we apply this theory to everything we do, which is you think something's, you want to try something, so you go out and try it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, shit, that didn't work, and you don't do it. So, we've had a couple of things that we've tried. I'm going to say one thing, but it didn't fail. It actually was the biggest risk that we ever took, which is, we've done it for 5 seasons now. We've hosted completely crowdsourced fashion shows at New York Fashion Week, right? So every single person in our show is from the V-Files social media platform. So that means, like, if you've ever worked on a fashion show before, you go backstage at a fashion show and there's like 150 people there, and at most fashion shows, they've all done a show before. They know what to do, where to go, et cetera, et cetera. Well, when we do our shows, no one's ever done a show before. The average age is probably 21. And, it's a really risky, scary thing. And the first time we did this, I really thought, oh my God, I've really gone too far with this. This is freaking crazy trying to pull this off. But then you realize that you have so many people around you, including the people who you gave the opportunity to, who wanted to succeed, that the sheer will and energy behind an idea like that makes it happen. So that's when, that could have been a huge disaster. We put ourselves on the line in front of, Fashion Week public. Fashion Week public is mean. They're not nice. They're nasty. That was a huge risk for us that, definitely could have gone sideways, but we picked it up and made it great.
Smart. You talked about choosing people to work with that, that will work with you and that are strong. What do you look for in people? When you're hiring people, and all three of you, because you have a team and you have a huge team, what do you look for in people when you're looking to work with them?
I just discovered this thing called the Colby test. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's a test that you take, and it tells you how you work. It tells you your follow through, it tells you your implementation, it tells you if you're a fast thinker, ideas, and all those things. And I took the test, found out who I was, and then my assistants, I had them take it. And it really shows you what you need and where the things that you're missing. It shows you the type of person that you need to find. And I found that to be very, very helpful. It's a Colby A test if any of you want to check it out.
So you almost need to know what you need.
Yes, and it really shows you, like, I'm terrible at fact finding. Like, I could never be a lawyer. And I knew that I needed an assistant that could do that and also a few other things that I felt like were missing from my brand. And now I feel like there's, now I'm like a whole person with the team around me. And I also love, my manager is a shark. She will go after, she will, not be afraid to say the highest rate, to push me for this, that, and the other things that I hadn't even thought of. And I think if you have somebody that is, that's really pushing you beyond your boundaries and even has more ideas and more of an idea of where you want to go in your career, I think that's very important.
Smart. Yeah, what do you look for, Dan?
I just hire people I want to be friends with. It's very simple, and it's been working out so far. I'm hanging out with these people every single day. Like, I hang out with them more than my friends or my mom. She's in Sweden, so it's very hard to hang out with her. But yeah, that's been like the overall test. Is like, do I want to hang out with this person? Do I want to like grab a drink with this person? Do I want to be stuck in an airport with this person? Because like you're gonna do this together, and it's so important that you're like on the same level, and on the not same level on some other things, because they're bringing something to the team. So that's like our first qualifier is like, do I want to be friends with this person?
Right.
It has nothing to do with me coming to New York with no friends. It has nothing to do about that. Yeah, and all of them have to hang out with me now.
Are you single now?
No, I'm actually
okay.
no. I actually got engaged last week.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you. Was that 2 weeks ago? That was 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay.
Where were I? Oh yeah,
Sorry.
friends. And then after that, we make sure that they're actually good at their job. But usually that's the case.
An important part of it, right?
We wouldn't like take someone in if they weren't.
If you just want to drink with
Yeah.
them, right?
Promise, no.
Julianne, what are the top 3 things you look for?
So I look for energy. Sounds really stupid, but everyone gives off some energy. And, we need at V-Files people with a lot of energy. So I look for energy. Then killer smile really helps when you meet someone. See? I'd hire you. Energy, a killer smile. Smart. Got to be smart. You got to know what you're talking about. And then basic common sense. Okay? It's raining. Do you have a coat on? Like simple common sense.
Smart.
You'd be surprised. That's a skill.
That's like a sneaky job interview test. Like, did she bring an umbrella?
Right.
I have a feeling that a lot of people are in this room to make connections today and to network. And I think we all know that networking pays off, but we're not quite sure how. Sometimes it's hard to figure out how has networking helped all of you? Anyone?
You want to go?
Yeah, I can go.
Go for
so
it.
I just try to make friends. And that's
He's all about the friends.
Yeah, who is this guy? Who brought him up here?
How's your friend circle now? You're good?
Yeah, it's
good.
it's way better. No, but that's like...
Sorry.
No, it's fine. People do this all the time to me.
They laugh at you?
Yeah. I think with me,
Yes,
I pretend that it's with me. No, but I think that's like what it's... that's to me what it's honestly been about. It's like making real emotional connections with people. I'm not looking to have like hundreds of like brief interactions with people and like not really leave an impression. I'd rather like talk to a few people and really get to know them, because I feel like that's gonna like pay off. I don't want to walk around and just be like, hey, what can you do for me? Hey, what can you do for me? And like, here's me. Like that would also be weird if I walked around doing that. But like actually meeting people, actually caring about other people, that's been like paying off 10 times. At least for me. That's what I've been doing.
And it sounds like networking helped get your lingerie.
Network is huge in my industry, and I think that coming to things like this is really important. and sparking a conversation. I have walked up to huge celebrities and just been like, "Hi, I'm Ashley Graham. Can I please take a selfie with you?" And they've been like, "Yeah, that's fine," because they're not that scary, and or big, whomever it is that you want to work with. And I think persistence is key as well. I have answered emails on my fan page because a few people have emailed me 10 times in a row. And it's that persistence that really makes you think, okay, they've got what it takes. And I think that that's a really great networking skill or networking tool to just email people. I mean, it sounds simple, but people also forget you when you meet them in person. They throw your card away. They lose interest. And I think emailing is very important.
How did you use your connections? Because you have such an incredible fashion resume, right, in the industry. How did you use those connections to launch the V-Files?
I'm a terrible networker. I'm Australian, right? So we don't believe in networking. We call it like sucking up to people. So we just or like teacher's pet is the kind of the American version. So I'm a terrible networker, and I have a really big problem in that I hate asking for favors from people, right? So I'm very lucky to have worked with some incredible people. I never ask them for anything. Instead, what I do is I try and do such a killer job at what I'm doing that they come to me and say, hey, you know what? Do you want to do this together? That's my way. And it's not, I don't advise it. I advise a hybrid would be good. But that's a weakness of mine. I really struggle with that.
Do you ever say, no, I don't want to work with you?
No. When you start a company, if anyone wants to work with you, anyone wants to do anything, you are so grateful, and you should be so humble, and you say, thank you. Mm-hmm. I'd love to work with you. Mm-hmm.
I would imagine now you've all reached such successful points in your career that people try to network with you a lot. Mm-hmm. What have been some of the successful ways, and maybe some of if you have any advice for ways not to network? I remember I've gotten, I have people that will show up unannounced at my office, things like that. So what would you suggest doing and not doing to people that are going to probably try to network with you right after this?
I think something that's really good to do, and you're not boasting about yourself, but putting in those little hey, I just did this, and it's really interesting. Letting the person that you are talking to, that you're networking with, letting them know what you're doing in a non-conceited way, because this is your one chance with them. And try to get it in there as much as you can. I think that's very important when you're networking with someone. I haven't really had any terrible networking.
Good.
I mean, I've gotten weird fan mail at home, but I wouldn't call that networking.
That's fair. Dan?
Oh. I was hoping I was going to skip this one.
You can skip this one. You can skip this one.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'll skip it.
Okay. Julianne,
Dan,
especially if
that
you're
was
not a
SNL
fan.
last week. Come on. What was the question again?
Good and bad ways to network, especially if you're not.
Best ways of
networker.
networking is if you're really excited. If you're really excited about something and you're like, oh my God, I really I just love people that are excited about things. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're excited about making donuts. You make great donuts. You know what I mean? I love that. I love it. So, I mean, if you want to find me, you can come find me at SoulCycle. I teach there. You can always talk to me after class. I love it. But I'm most inspired to meet people who are excited about things. So I'm doing this, and I'm excited about this, and I'm just did this. And I have this kid who's he's like 15, and he is he's at school in LA, and he wants to be a photographer. And all he does is send me pictures of his friends in some V-File stuff. They're so happy. They're so excited. I love it. That kid, I don't care what he needs. I'm gonna make it happen for him. He's such a great kid, and it's the same thing. Like a lot of the kids that are, the V-Files kids, our audience is 90% of our audience is under 30, and 75% is under 24. So these are kids who all want something, and not only do they want it, they're going to do it. So I actually want to do it with them. So when they're like, I'm doing this, I'm dropping this single, can you play my song? Can you play this in the store? Can you do this? Can you get people to follow me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let's just do it. Show it to me. So the best way to network with someone like me and at V-Files is just do your thing. Create a profile, get things going, get attention. Social media, someone was saying before, is your friend, but it's, you know, it's not the be all and end all, because the most important thing is this in real life. This is the most important thing.
I thought you were going to tell people about the horrible selfie you took of me behind the...
We took a good selfie out there. It was a good one. You look good in it.
Stop it. Continue.
Before I turn this over to questions, I want to ask one last question of each of you about the best piece of advice.
I can't handle you.
I get that a lot.
I was looking for a bagel for you because you were hungry. It wasn't my fault.
Stop it. We're in front of people.
Whose Instagram account is the selfie posted on so
It's
that
on
everyone
mine.
can look it up right now?
That's funny.
I want to know the best piece of advice that you've been given, and if you would share that with the room so that they can sort of use it too. No, this is a thinker.
Kill people with kindness. I think that, especially in the fashion industry, you will meet people that will be snobby to you, that will be disgusting to you. You've heard all the crazy stories. Kill them with kindness. People never forget the way you made them feel. And that has really taken me such a long way.
Dan?
Yeah, for me, I think it's about like not really giving up in one sense. Like we've been doing this for 7-8 years now, and people come to me now and they're like, I can't believe like this has been such an overnight success. I can't believe you guys have been doing this. But then it's like, you know, we've been doing it for so long. We just like, even though we probably should have given up like at a lot of points, we just didn't do it. And it's easy to say to people like, follow your passion, do this. But I think like passion is such a hard word. Like, what if you don't have your passion? What if you're like, oh, I don't know what my passion is. Should I know what my passion is? So, but we were just curious. We just like, what about this? And then we kept on. Then we did that, and then like that led to so many other possibilities. And we just kept on doing, you know, what we thought was interesting. And then we ended up in a place that's interesting, and we're like living interesting lives. And I'm very happy and very grateful for that.
That's smart.
So best advice, couple of them. One is
I'm writing this
yeah,
down.
never overrate yourself, okay? We're all the same. We all came in the same, we're all going out the same. So don't overrate yourself. And the second one is shut the fuck up. Listen to people, okay? Don't think that you gotta say and speak all the time, because that's how you're going to get anywhere. Just shut up. That was the best advice I ever got. It was from my mom.
Mine was from my mom too. Yep.
2 moms.
Yeah.
Okay, let's open it up to questions. Does anyone have questions? Oh, right here.
Okay, so my question's for Ashley. Hi.
Hi.
I love you so much.
Thank you.
I modeled too. I started when I was 12
Okay.
in the DC area.
Okay.
And back then, you know, I was really, really skinny. 'Cause
Right.
I was young, but after turning 18 and stuff, I started.
You got a womanly shape?
Yes. And so basically, I'm between like a 6'8",
Okay.
and I still want to do it, but I can't find a place because I'm not skinny enough, but I'm also not curvy enough.
Yeah. I was just talking about this actually back there. It's a really weird place to be for girls that size, and they're trying to put another label on girls that size. They call them the in-betweenies. And
That's terrible.
Isn't it?
That's just terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm shutting that down. That is
Yeah.
horrible.
I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm sure you've heard it. There are agencies now that are repping girls your size, and my suggestion is that you find those agencies and go there. Don't go with your typical modeling agency that only represents what skinny models or straight size models, because they won't get it. Find a manager that's going to get it, because there are companies like Aerie, American Eagle. They're shooting all different types of girls, and they're not retouching them because they're celebrating just women. And Dove does the same thing. They're just celebrating women in general. So those jobs are out there for you. You just have to find the right management.
Do what you love.
Yes.
No?
Yes. Do what you love.
Oh.
Do what you dove.
Sorry. Read that wrong.
We'll go back here.
Question is also for Ashley. I also am a huge fan.
Thank you.
How do you feel about the whole drop the bus movement that's going on right now? I know that some models are empowered by the label and others feel like it's very limiting.
I hate labels, honestly, like the in-betweeny label. I think it's pretty just demeaning to women. I think it's also isolating you from encouraging and being a part of other women's empowerment groups. To me, Drop the Plus is necessary because there's a huge isolating nature of the term plus size. And I really think that now more curvy models are standing up and talking about the isolating nature of the term plus size. And I think we all need to start doing it a little bit more, because I don't walk into a room and it's announced, plus size model Ashley Graham is here. It's like, no, Ashley Graham. I mean, I'm more than a model. I'm more than a designer. I am, I am a woman who wants to empower other women. And I think that labeling me just as a plus size and labeling me because of the number in my pants is also super demeaning. So I would love to be able to get rid of the word plus. I think it's necessary when you're booking a model. I think you have to book a redhead, a blonde, a plus size girl, a straight size girl, petite. I understand why that is necessary. But I think when you're just talking about a normal model, I don't think that the labels are necessary at all.
We have one more. All right, we'll go the gentleman.
My question is actually for all three, and I want to just ask, what is the transition? What advice would you give somebody coming to New York City with no platform? Because I know all three of you are kind of different in the ways you got into your business. You somewhat had a platform to go from model and then become a designer. It was a somewhat a good transition. So what is some advice to a new entrepreneur in New York City to get a platform for yourself?
It's a great question.
I'm Australian. I came to New York City in 1993 with 2 suitcases, and I was pregnant. I was a complete loser. I remember sending my mom a fax, actually, saying, "Mom, they have this great paper here called the New York Times," right? I've still got it. So the way, and then I used to also take pictures of myself in front of the subway where the steam came out, because, in Australia, that's like, whoa. The way to do it is just work out what you want to be and just do it, because this is New York City. New York City is the greatest city. There is no limit to what you can do. If you had something weird in your past, no one knows it. Okay?
And if
you
they
went
do,
to,
you can use it to your benefit.
Yeah, you sucked at school, no one knows it, right? You are free. You can do whatever you want. So think about it as a positive, not a negative, and find your way, right? So choose your whatever it is you want to be, and just find that path and just go step by step. And don't fall into, any kind of rules. There are no rules, okay? Right now there's Uber, there's Spotify, there's Tidal, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's V-Files. There's no rules anymore. Okay, so don't follow the rules. Just do you.
And I think also kind of being a bit of a salesman for yourself. I think always kind of pitching yourself lightly to people, because that also gets you ready for the next person, the person who actually is the somebody that's going to get you somewhere. You've got your mission statement in place, and you can just go da 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 da. And I think it's really important, like she was saying, know exactly what you want to do, but write it out. I think a lot of us are just thinkers, and I want to do this, I want to do that. Go old school, get a pen, get a paper, do a vision board. My vision board, everything on my vision board has been happening. I've never made a vision board before, but it is necessary. Sports Illustrated was on my vision board. A multifaceted clothing line was on my vision board, which I am launching in 2016, which I'm excited to show you guys.
Woo!
Yes.
It's going to be so killer.
Yeah.
You're going to kill it.
Thanks, girl. But, right.
Here, we can do it.
Thank you. No, it's fine. Happens all the time.
He's Swedish.
I know. But vision,
Yeah?
write out the vision. Create the vision for yourself. And that's how you are going to meet those people. What you put out is what you get in.
I like that the Australian is picking on me all the time. I'm also from another country. It's not easy.
All right, we're going to
Yeah.
wrap that up. But
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Before I say something stupid.
Thank you, Julianne,
Yeah.
Ashley, and Dan. Give them a round of applause.
Hey guys, thanks for watching and so glad that you're here. You could just take a moment and subscribe to our channel. You can do it by clicking here, over here, over here or wherever that subscribe button is, just click it. You'll get everything directly sent to you, first to know of all things Simply Stylist. Thank you so much, and if you don't, this dog is coming after you.